Hey y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. Guess who is with me in the car today? It's Dr. Scott Walter. Yeah, very, very nice. We just amazingly got back from this conference in Atlanta, and the car said, do you want to install a software update? And I said, yes. And it turned out it's 11.4.7.3. Sorry, that thing's recording, as you can just hear. And I am going to pull over here and engage. We are going to go to the gym, which is a 14-minute drive. So that's how long this video will be, more or less. All right, so off we go. We'll find out. So what did you think coming through Atlanta? I noticed Scott called me and he was just like, oh man, these drivers around here.
Yeah, but it was interesting going through Atlanta because I was right behind you. We both had FSD.
Right.
We tried to make sure the speed setting we had was about the same. And it was doing a couple of lane changes about the same. But then we came up to an exit. It was sort of funny as we were over in the left lane, and all of a sudden you started to come over to the right. I'm like, what's it going on over here? Suddenly I was going over the right, and the traffic was a bit thick. And I realized, like, oh, it was getting ready for the exit that was coming up within 2 miles.
Right.
But it was really interesting. Even though we were very close together, it ended up being a little bit different because you got boxed out by a truck. It decided to shoot way ahead. Then I got boxed out by another truck, and I had to like kind of wait to get behind. And then like you raced up behind me. And then I called you, and the whole time we're like, yep, our hands were off the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see that in nearly identical conditions, the FSD, of course, is going to drive a little bit differently because we're not in the exact same car.
Exactly.
But we ended up making it on the same exit, and then making our way here.
So and the back road, the 316, which has a lot of, it's like 65 miles an hour, but it has a whole bunch of traffic lights, so it's very easy to get hung up there. And I know at one point you missed one light, but then of course I missed a light and you caught up. We got there at the same time anyway. So that was a pretty decent stop there, because this was originally a big problem because the stop sign is way back there and the line is here.
So thinks the speed limit is 25.
Yeah, so here, right? Yeah, he knows because he's been watching this. So there's a speed limit up there that says 50, and it just, there's nobody behind us, so we're cool, but it's really annoying. Also, I would normally take a left up here, but I'm going to let the full self-driving thing do its own thing. But so it'd be nice if you could teach it navigation and tell it what the speed limit actually was. So yeah, it just
it just went up to 50.
Yeah. So anyway, I noticed something today that was really interesting, which was we were going, I think it was 70 and it dropped down to 55 as we went on to that, but it actually clocked us. It said 70 and it put it in blue, and it said, I think for traffic conditions or traffic flow.
Traffic flow. It does that now.
Which was really cool, because that meant that it was saying like, oh, I need to drive faster than the speed limit in order to blend in with the traffic. So I don't know what NHTSA's going to do, and of course other regulatory bodies in other countries, because they're going to have to deal with that. The reality versus the law.
Well, the law is a bit funny on that, because I took a driver's test about 20 years ago or something like that, when you had to update your driver's license, and you have to take one of those 20-question tests. And one of them was, as far as I'm concerned, the framing and everything's like, oh, this is a trick question. So it was probably longer than that, because the speed limit was still 55 nationally. So
that was in the Carter administration.
It must have been when it first moved to Michigan.
So this is interesting. I'm curious why the car has not decided to go into the left law there.
Oh, it's going here now.
It just wasn't quite aggressive enough about it. But this is something where you could easily miss the light because of the fact that it's...
Now this is not John's left turn.
No, that's down there. If you want to do that, we can go do it, since we have a new version of the software.
We'll do it later, and good thing it did everything right, because there are 3 state troopers
exactly.
right there.
Here's some awesome new technology from Lasfit. If you have a Model 3 or Model Y standard range, they don't usually come with floor mats, or even if you have the regular mats, they're usually not as good as this. This is an awesomely fit Lasfit car mat that fits directly into the front seats of a Model 3 or a Model Y or an S or an X. And it also fits in the back seat as well. It's custom designed for each model. It fits perfectly. You just slide it in, and you can see that it has these nice ridges around the edge, so it'll catch anything, mud, dirt, whatever. You take it out, when it gets dirty, smack it once, it's all good. And if it gets really dirty, you can wash it, because it's made out of rubber. So it's actually perfect. So let's check it out. Just that easy, fits right in there, and it's perfect. And it even has like a little roll here that's designed for the end of the battery compartment. So I give it a definite thumbs up. Really good stuff, and thanks so much to Lasfit for sending me these floor mats to check out. If you want to check them out yourself, just check out the link in the description. So there we go. Did you notice it cut the a little bit into the double, well, the yellow with
yeah.
So it does that. Now, here is a problem. It's not so bad today because I guess because it's midday or something, but it doesn't get over soon enough to make the exit to get onto the highway. And so yeah, it should be getting over. It should be getting over about now. And the problem is it doesn't. And
it says no problem with the cars behind us. The problem is the cars in front of us.
Well, and then if it's more crowded, there'll be cars in front and behind. So it's we've only got 0.3 miles, and it's got to get over 2 lanes, and it really should be doing that already.
It might be seeing the gap right now.
I think it just. I heard it. Yeah. So there's the gap. Yep. So it's done 1, but that means it's going to have to. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to have a problem. This guy is definitely not letting it in. So I'm very curious to see what. So see, this was completely navigation's fault because what it should have done. Mm-hmm. So it's now got to figure out how to get in over, and is it going to make it? Is it going to make it?
No, this guy is like kind of blocking.
That guy let us in.
He's wondering what were you doing.
Thank you.
There?
So that was bad. I did not have to intervene, but that's the navigation problem right there. Is it just doesn't
didn't
handle
have
it.
to intervene, but I think you annoyed the vehicle behind us.
Oh gosh,
I certainly expecting you to get in.
Yeah,
and it was like, why aren't you getting in? It's because FSD wasn't aggressive enough.
Yeah. So, but also, if it just had made the decision, 0.4 of a mile back instead of right then, it would have been able to do it no problem. And here, of course, we have another merge situation, which is not merging properly, and of course that Bronco.
Let's see, it's supposed to merge quicker. No, it's waiting to the very end of the lane.
Yeah, and then of course it doesn't really accelerate until that point either. So yeah, this Bronco is like this guy was definitely like had it with us. He's like, who are these amateurs?
Okay.
So I mean, it's done it. There's no interventions, but still, that's the bugaboo is that whole integration, the path planning that I don't believe. Well, I don't know. They keep saying it's only the control that's in version 12 that is that's been changed out, but it seems like the path planning is still substandard.
Yeah, so. and of course, why we've got a .3 release now.
Right. But who knows? Because the .2 release was a huge. Yeah, I was really surprised. I never get the software early, and I hadn't heard
I'm trying to remember, see whether I'm at 2. Am I at 2 or 3? I have to double check.
Yeah.
So, was 3 been around a while?
I think it went out to like employees or something, but it didn't. I don't know. As far as I knew, it did not go out very widely, but I could be wrong about that.
I'll have to see what I have because I thought
you should be able to. Can't you look on your phone?
Oh yeah,
you should be able to.
Let's go back to it.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look. But anyway, the flow control of the highway.
Yes.
So the question was that you're coming onto a highway where the speed limit is 55, and traffic is going 75.
Right.
How fast do you go? And it was like a bunch of options. One of them was you go 55, you go slower than 55, you go the same speed of traffic.
Right.
So, there's all those. I'm like, oh well, they want me to admit that I'm speed here because obviously I've got the same speed of traffic, which is like 75. And I just put down 55. That was like the one question I got wrong.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense. That's what you're supposed to do. And the state of Michigan just told me it's okay to speed.
There you go. Yeah, it is. That's the problem with all of this stuff, and I think that's one of the problems with humans driving along with computers. Because of course, with computers, you could just say like, "This is the speed limit," and you will go this speed limit, and it'll happily do that.
Yep.
But with humans on the road, you can't do that. It's just not appropriate. So.
Ooh, I'm trying to see where on that app I'm going to find that. You should find it right.
I think down under software, right? Doesn't it have that someplace where it has the version?
Maybe it's under.
The problem is you have to find you have to be able to translate between the full self-driving number, like the software release number and the full self-driving number, which is always.
Oh no, I found it. I get the release notes, and my release note says I'm 472.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is really pretty new. This is pretty fresh. Wow, you got it before me.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I have no idea. Maybe
my excuse is I was on the road.
Oh, this is hardware 4. So I wonder if the release schedule is different. Is yours 3?
Wait, I'm 2. No, I'm 7.2. That's what I have right now.
I know, but this is hardware 4, the car.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on a different release schedule.
But an earlier release schedule.
Earlier.
I thought it was supposed to be later. I thought it was supposed to be behind, but if you're getting 3, you're getting it.
Yeah, and our other car is still on 11.4.4. So it hasn't even updated to 4.7 yet.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So yeah, I have no idea. So if people have some clue about that, put it in the comments because I really don't know. So here again, I would stay over in the left lane a little bit longer in this circumstance because this is a really long entrance lane, and we're gonna kind of get hooked. Like,
but it said it's changing in order to follow.
It is, because it's got to get over. But this Dodge Ram, so it didn't turn out to be a problem. But if that guy had been driving just a little bit slower, we would have ended up merging at just about the same time, which would have been a problem. But it turns out it's okay. But no intervention so far. It did a really bad job of navigating itself onto the entrance ramp of the highway. But aside from that, it's been fine. And that's always been a problem. It's just since 10 dot whatever. And here it like too aggressively. It always does that. It like kind of goes over and then has to course correct a little bit. So
I've also noticed that when you prompt it to change the lane.
Oh no, this is going to be okay. So we have a semi truck. Looks like it's unloaded, but you can. It's really hard to see to the left over here. So I know people on here can't see it, but hopefully it will get enough of a view right now before the semi truck gets there. So it should go. Yep. Okay. So a little hesitant.
It hesitated because it saw a car appear back there.
Right.
It was clear and then it appeared.
Yeah. So a lot of times, if the semi truck is there, it's really difficult to have a clue where, whether you should creep out and look or just go for it. Or anyway, so it causes problems, but it did get there early enough that it was able to get a good view. And now let's see what it does with this bus and these cars. Please don't go now. I love how he gets a little aggressive about it. It's
you don't know if is it going to do it or not.
And it would be nice. Okay, so these guys are all blue. So I think what that's doing is indicating to us. Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Decided to do that.
All right. I mean, that was good. It was just I would have stepped on it a little bit harder to get out of that traffic faster. But yeah. But it did it. That was good. But yeah, I like that it was highlighting those cars coming towards us blue, which meant to me that it's like, yeah, I'm paying attention to those cars. That's what I'm dealing with. Because that's what it does if you're trying to merge in between two cars. It highlights them blue so you know where you're going or going to go. This is going to be interesting because, okay. Now, all right, let's see what happens with this. This is an edge case. We've got a semi-truck that looks like it's just
basically parked in the middle of the street.
Now, so what is I'm curious. There's nobody behind us. And there's a golf cart the other direction.
So he's got flashing yellow there.
So it should have.
The display is kind of.
Looks like it. Yeah, it looks like
it's showing a blinker. Right. Now it's showing. Yeah, so the display is not quite exactly what we're seeing.
I saw the truck driver get back in the truck, so I'm hoping he's going to leave now.
It sees the brakes on, but it doesn't. Does it show us?
Yeah, the other guy behind us was trying to go around because he was doing the thing that I would have done as a human. But
so he was asking the golf cart for directions. That's weird.
There's like. This is why the world is so complicated. Why are there like all of these semi trucks just like all jammed up in this?
Well, remember we had that one exit with the moving construction site.
Yeah.
With the arrows and these two trucks because
that's cool. Did you see that? That guy did not have a stop sign, but he was stopped and the car went. That was actually excellent.
All right.
I don't believe that this thing will pull into the parking lot, which is coming up right here. So let me take a look. Yeah, it just stops in front of it. So the full self-driving route is just about over. But I generally speaking, except for that weird edge case, and I think we would have had to disengage there if the guy had not gotten back in the truck, because otherwise we would have been there for a while. Yeah. But that was the navigation problem, and again, weird edge cases. I should have actually disengaged the autopilot then to have to tell Tesla and say like, this is a weird edge case and you probably should look at this or something, because that would have been worthwhile looking. So thoughts? 11.4.7.3, anything different?
I didn't notice anything different.
Yeah, it felt very similar to the 4.7.2. So
no regressions, but
which is a good. It's very nice. And again, the navigation is still the big bugaboo. It just doesn't. That's the same spot every single time. And of course, it also doesn't have the right speed limit until you get to the speed limit sign, even though it should be obvious that that road is not a 25-mile-an-hour road, even without at least 40 or 45. That would be like, as a human, I would guess that if I pulled out onto that road the first time. So it needs to work on that, and it needs to work on navigation. But aside from that, pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice. We give it a thumbs up. All right. Everybody have a good day. Bye-bye. We're going to go climb.